In early January this year, Kate Bush had never performed before an important live audience. She had several successful singles to her name, a couple of albums in the charts, a string of TV appearances, but in a sense she was a media singer. When she took the decision to go on tour, no one doubted how important it could prove to her career. Because most live artists make their mistakes either in private or before a very small audience. Tonight, here at the Liverpool Empire, Kate Bush starts at the top, before several thousand. She can't afford to fail.
We're all alone on the stage tonight.
The planning started in earnest 3 months ago. A series of corridor discussions led to phone calls and then a production meeting. Time, space and even furniture can never be found, and most of the early and therefore important decisions were taken where people just ended up, sometimes in the back room of a friend of a friend.
Has anyone spoken to Musicians Union about this?
Or PRS?
No, the MU. Did anybody mention it to the MU?
No. Not specifically, no.
Because I have had instances before with people using tapes where the MU have picked up on it. You've re-recorded the backtrack with the band.
We are re-recording it.
There's no agency for tour personnel. It's who you know and, more important, who's available. Altogether, the tour would employ 40 people. While the production team was still coming together, Kate Bush was working on her dancing.
Two, get the head over. Three, get the head over. Further, keep the left leg working all the time. And up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right in front of the mouth. Stretch, stretch, and down. Now to up again. 2, 3.
Now you might think that Kate Bush is in pretty good shape, but a dancing instructor had 3 weeks to produce a super fit body, capable of enduring 2 hours of grueling exertion.
4, and side out. 2, change in, and 1.
A doctor's daughter, not yet 21, with all the pressures of a £200,000 tour on her shoulders, selecting and rejecting the best advice she could find and buy.
And center, and out. Okay. One of our problems is that Kate is dancing better and better. I mean, I'm teaching her, and she's working. It's incredible how far she's got. I wouldn't have thought it was possible. And the problem now is that she's getting so good at dancing that it's going to be hard to keep her from dancing so that she can sing properly. I mean, it would be fantastic if we could put the whole show on a recorder, and then she could mime it and then dance. We can't do that. She's got to sing it, so we've got to fit the dancing to the singing.
What, you mean she'd be out of breath?
Oh, yeah. I mean, she couldn't dance the way she could dance, possibly, and sing at the same time. So somehow we've got to work it out so that it all fits in properly.
The broader ideas were usually Kate's. The choreography often a case of trial and error, with Anthony Van Last cutting back on her more enthusiastic contortions. Nearly every day meant shaping another song or perfecting the one they'd started yesterday.
You do that too.
Yeah. It's important that the visuals are just emphasising the music, because it's not a dance show. It's a music show that's being illustrated with movement, and it's important that they both complement each other. And I'm not a dancer, I'm just learning to dance, and what I can do, I'll try and put across in the show, but I'm not a dancer. I just love dancing, and I want to be able to learn as much as I can.
Every lunchtime, after leaving her dancing practice, physically drained, she'd drive across the Thames to Greenwich to rehearse the music. At Wharf Studios, the best available place, with the right facilities for just running through the songs time and time and time again. However many times they'd tried it before, they still kept going until it was perfect every time. Whereas with the dancing, she was still uncertain and happy to listen, with the music, Kate Bush knew exactly what she wanted. A tight, punchy sound, if anything, better than the record.
We're not just reproducing the albums here, I mean, when you're a band, you have your own identity, and if you're just reproducing albums, there's not much point in having a band, I mean, you might as well just play the album.
Does she ever lose her temper with you?
No, I mean, do you ever lose your temper with it?
Lose my temper? No. Come on, let's get on with it. Wow, we've got to get together more because it's not sounding as it should be yet. It's not tight enough. They have to be tight. And especially the fact that we're going to be doing movement to the music has to be very, very together and precise. And that's what we're trying to achieve. It's not for real. He just holds his breath. I think the main reason why they listen to me is because I'm paying the wages and it's my music. And I think they have enough respect for me, I hope, not to turn around and say, you don't know what you're talking about.
How much like the record will your music finally be in the concert?
That is a problem, because obviously the albums have been very carefully produced and you've got mixed levels and everything. And for live work, to a certain extent, we couldn't do it exactly as the album is, even if we wanted to, because it wouldn't come across in a strong way. For a live performance, you have to be aware of the fact that making things more obvious so as people can hear them, trying to possibly make songs quicker.
It was a combination of strong personality and discipline that kept Kate Bush in control of 8 accomplished musicians, some of them playing professionally while she was still at school. And she had the help of her 2 brothers. One of them, Paddy, had even found special instruments for the tour. What do you call it?
It's called a Strumento da Porco. That's its real name, or at least the name that Pretorius gave it. He was a writer on musical instruments in the 17th century.
What do you use it for?
We use it for a number with a Islamic flavour to it called Kashka from Baghdad, and it sounds like a santur, which is traditional Arabian instrument played with hammers, just like this.
You're Kate's brother, aren't you?
Yeah, afraid so.
Is it sort of a bit of a family business, really?
Well, yes and no. I mean, like, Kate and I have been making music together for years and years, on different levels, but I mean, there's always been music in our family. My other brother, John, he played. I was in a band with him when I was about 13 or 14.
Are you nervous about the concert tour?
A little apprehensive. No, I think it'll be good fun, actually. Really good fun. I mean, we're so well rehearsed as far as it goes, and the music will take care of itself.
By early March, the whole team moved out to Shepperton for more space and practice. The music was finally how she wanted it, but the other details had yet to click. Some of the equipment had proven unsuitable, and more still had to be ordered, often costing thousands of pounds. And above all, one major problem had yet to be solved. She wouldn't be able to dance and sing and hold a microphone at the same time. An entirely new vocal sound system would have to be developed. How complicated has the sound been for the tour?
Very complicated, actually. We've had quite a few problems to overcome. Mainly the making up of Kate herself, from the dance point of view.
How have you solved that?
With a very small microphone. A small mic on a boom arm. It's going to be used from the side of her head.
Half a dozen complete outfits were in their final stages, every single one capable of being changed quickly between songs.
Yeah, right. And I think without actually having cobwebs all over you, I think this is the nearest you're going to get to cobwebs without it. Beautiful. And for the dancers...
With 3 weeks to go, Kate Bush was more like an executive than a singer, making a series of decisions almost every hour. Every detail, every colour, every texture, she helped to decide. Even the choice of the crew food was partly influenced by her and produced by her other brother, John.
Well, we've got nothing really difficult, but there are a lot of vegetarians involved, about 16. And my wife's been cooking for the last few days. And it's working out really well. Everybody likes it. It's all going very fast.
It's almost a vegetarian tour, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say that, yes. Yeah, well, it's good food because it lets people carry on working afterwards. They're not walking around really laid out with an enormous great meat meal.
Last week, the preparations climaxed at London's Rainbow Theatre, specially booked for the final run-through. In conditions of surprising secrecy, the last wrinkles were gradually ironed out. After 2.5 months of intense hard work, everyone, including Kate herself, was holding up well. By then, the entire tour, finishing with 4 nights at the Palladium, had been sold out.
You say we're fantastic, but still we don't have the groove.
The most difficult ones are where I've got the headset and I'm moving a lot. It's an amazing feeling of freedom because there's nothing in your hands yet you can hear your voice being projected miles away. It's incredible, but it's not quite in its full design yet. There are just a few things that are wrong with it, and it's not always right in front of my mouth, but we're getting that soon too.
With only 1 week to go before opening, how do you think the rehearsals have gone so far?
I think they're going very well. There's a lot of rushing, but there always is at this time, and that's when most gets done. I think it's going well.
The plan was for a fully integrated dancing, singing, clowning, conjuring, acting, poetical effects show, throwing everything in and just hoping it would hold together. On the last dress rehearsal, it finally did. And although at first they wouldn't admit it, they were ready for Liverpool. There'll never be another night quite like the first Kate Bush show at the Liverpool Empire. Even parts of the audience were nervous, wondering if the young lady with the brittle voice had brittle nerves as well.
It has been hard work every day, 7 days a week, but it's really been a question of getting the right people to do the right jobs at the right time and putting them all together and making a big team and making it work.
Are you nervous about tonight?
Excited, I think we all are. Yes, we're all nervous, of course we are. But fingers crossed.
It means a lot, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
After just one song, we knew. She was a sensation. Her reputation was safe, and more. Kate Bush was thoroughly enjoying herself during the greatest test of her life. Kate from Nationwide Supplies.
Oh, bless you.
Really happy tonight?
Did you enjoy the show?
Oh, it was lovely.
Did you?
You really happy?
I'm knocked out. I can't believe that audience.
Worth that 3 months hard work? Oh, well worth it.
I'm just completely knocked out, really. They're amazing.